Hi, everybody. Hello, Gia. Hello, Adam. We have our special guest, Adam, back. This is to sort of commemorate our 200th episode, and we have a bit of an agenda, right? We wanted to talk to Adam again about the strike, and there's been some developments, not on the negotiating end, but on the end of celebrities doing things that
Mm.
might have been upsetting to people who are,
Yeah, I guess
yeah.
public shaming actually can sometimes have an impact.
Yeah.
Uh,
Do you want to talk
and
about
one,
that?
well, it was amazing. Drew Barrymore, I guess, was just.
Yeah.
It was remarkable how much she was dragged. I think it was a bummer when she decided she was going to come back.
Yeah.
But really, but I also feel like you got to like stay focused on like really who we're fighting here. It's not Drew
Uh-huh.
Barrymore.
Yeah.
It's the studio,
Yeah.
but it was a bummer, especially because she's got that whatever pixie-ish quality and always seems so light and lovely and innocent and stuff. Not
Yeah.
Bill Maher so much, but Drew Barrymore. I mean, everyone was sort of like, yeah, Bill Maher's he's kind of a jerk, so everyone sort of expected that. But
Yeah.
then
Uh,
she pulled back. I guess so did he. So
yeah.
go figure.
Yeah.
Oh, did he? I hadn't heard that. So he changed his tune also?
Hmm.
Yeah, like the
Oh.
Yeah.
talk, these various people, they all kind of was like the dominoes. Then I think
Hmm.
as soon as the first couple went, as happens, right? Then
Hmm.
it just kind of moved in that direction. So anyway,
You
no,
know any of do you know Drew Barrymore? Have you met her?
no, I don't know
No.
Drew Barrymore at all, but I mean, she does seem to have a pretty good reputation, and I clearly
Hmm.
she did not want to go down in history as a scab. I mean, that's literally what people were calling her a scab, so that can't be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't you sort of think that they would have figured they would get that reaction?
Um, I just don't know what was going into her thinking. Was going into her
Hmm.
thinking. I think a lot of people were saying, oh, there may have been threats, in terms of her contract or other things, or she was
Huh.
just being made
Uh-huh.
to feel like if she didn't go forward, there were really going to be really negative ramifications
Huh.
for her. So, I don't know, but clearly, whatever it was, she was able to put aside. So there it
Hmm.
is. And, I
Yeah.
mean, and it's funny because what I saw Bill Maher's statement today was like, well, I decided I was going to resume my show when I didn't think there were negotiations, but now that it looks like negotiations are resuming, it's really
Uh-huh.
kind of odd. Yeah, I mean, granted, we have been for a few weeks now in a
Hmm.
state of the standoff where no one's talking,
Hmm.
but it's sort of good. That's just been like the process. It's like they talk and then it
Hmm.
breaks down and then they talk and stuff. So anyway, whatever he needed to say, I guess he said. But and there was
Yeah.
also really a big strike on him that was planned for I think tomorrow. So at
Hmm.
his studio. So
Oh. Huh.
yeah, I mean, I think he really felt the heat. So
Yeah.
we'll see. So Wednesday they're going to talk again,
Yeah.
and could be something. It could be nothing. I mean, we had
Uh-huh.
really high hopes in August, so
Yeah.
we'll see if there's reason for higher hopes in September.
Yeah. Hmm. What do you think has to happen for one or both sides to give a little bit?
Well, I think that I'm going to answer a slightly different question. Well, I mean, I
Okay.
think in terms of I think in terms of what's got to happen is that there's I think some requests that have been made that are new requests. That is requests that have not been in negotiations before, like related to AI and related to room size. And even if I think we don't get 100%, I think we've got to have some significant movement there.
Mhm.
So that sort of, I think, directly answers the question you were asking. But I think kind of the bigger thing right now is this acknowledgement that the AMPTP, which is their side, the studios, is this conglomeration of companies that are very different from one another. I mean, you have these legacy legacy media groups like NBC or CBS, right? But then you
Mhm.
also have, Netflix, which is subscriber based, and you have Amazon, which sort of gives their, video programming away with Prime, and Apple, which is a hardware company, which also just has kind of like a, I mean, it's kind of a loss leader for them, I would imagine, you know.
Mhm.
And then you have NBC that needs their fall schedule, right? And
Mhm.
and so they really have very different needs at this point,
Mhm.
and yet they're being forced to negotiate as a group. And I think
Mm.
that their understanding is really starting to fracture. And that's what we would like. I mean, the same way they want to divide us, I think we would like to see deals made with people who are willing to give us what we want. And what we've heard is that some of these CEOs have told members of the negotiating committee, we're really okay with this. It's just we can't do anything while Netflix is taking this incredibly hard stance. And Netflix, I think, is prepared to go till January.
Huh.
Just buying, Japanese horror series or
Yeah, yeah.
whatever else, and
Uh-huh.
whatever else they want to buy, great new
Mhm.
German movies. And NBC is, or CBS is rerunning Yellowstone,
Yeah,
so I mean,
I saw
it's
that, yeah.
like, there's very sort of they're in very different places, and yet
Mhm.
they've all come together as one. So we'll see what happens. I would say that if we don't make real movement in the next week or two with them as a block, that perhaps we may start seeing individual deals made, or maybe that's wishful thinking. I don't
Hmm.
know.
But that's possible then to just make deals like with the networks or something like that?
Mean, it could. I mean, for understandable reasons, they will try to prevent that at any cost because,
Mhm.
same way that our power is as a union, they have tremendous power as long as they all refuse to move. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, but they are hurting to varying degrees. Some not
Yeah.
so much, it would seem, and others a lot.
Mhm.
You know,
Okay.
so we'll see, but people are still very unified. I mean, I have
Mhm.
not heard very much, um, back talk. I mean, everyone seems
Mhm.
to really understand that these are those big issues. I mean, what I have not had an ear to, and I can imagine these people are very upset, are the people in the ancillary businesses because they're not getting any benefit and they're also out of work.
Mhm.
Right.
So I think,
Mhm.
hair and makeup and all of these other people who are not working these days, I'm sure
Mhm.
are very upset, as understandably.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so there's some people like Seth Meyers and his buddies who are doing a podcast right now, and they're trying to raise money for the writers, I guess.
Yeah,
Things
there are
like
various
that. But
funds.
I
Some of them,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. But probably
and
not so much for hair and makeup and other parts of the business,
yeah, I
huh?
don't know. I mean, there is like a number. There's actually a few funds that I
Uh-huh.
think are going to help, but I can't imagine that it's just much more than a stopgap for most people.
Mhm. Mhm.
If they get money from these various funds. I mean, very nice things. Drew Carey has been picking up lunch at, I guess it's Swingers Diner, one of the yeah, or is it Bob's Big Boy? Anyway, since I think the beginning of the strike, like if you go and you show
Um,
your Writers Guild card, he like pays for lunch, and I think it's been hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars that he
Huh.
has
wow, that's
given
cool.
in terms of free
Yeah.
meals, and there've been other really really nice things that
Mhm.
various people have done, given lots of money towards
Yeah.
strikers. But even so, I'm sure there's still going to be a lot of pain, and when this is all resolved, there's still going to be a fair amount of ill will on some people's parts.
Mhm.
Mm,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
yeah.
So we'll
Hmm.
see.
And when you talked
So
about room size, that was when the first time you were here, you talked about how shows used to have a bigger group of writers. Is that what you
yeah.
mean when you talk about room
Yeah, it's
size?
just we sort of got to a standard where, for a typical 22 episode show, you could have anywhere from 8 to a dozen, sometimes more. If it was a sitcom like Roseanne, they would have two full rooms of writers, an A and a B room that were going, which is a lot. And that really
Mhm.
was more the exception. But I think as they've been scaling back on number of episodes, they've also really, pulled back the number of writers, and they've also put
Mhm.
people on shorter contracts.
Uh-huh.
Where I think I also probably talked about, being put on a weekly salary that, and then they'll
Yeah.
let people go very early on as soon as they possibly can and shift all of the remaining work over to a single showrunner or a single team of showrunners. And,
Mhm.
besides there being less work for all of those other writers, it means that these people are not training. They're not really
Mhm.
getting the experience they're going to need when they ultimately, hopefully, become showrunners themselves. So it's a really short-sighted kind of
Mhm.
approach to, it obviously is cheaper for them in the short term, but it really has real long-term negative ramifications. And
Mhm.
so, there's a real push to try to make some kind of minimum standard for the size of writers' rooms. And
Mhm.
we'll see where that ends up.
Yeah. Okay. And do you think that the fact that a lot of shows, the actors are getting paid a lot more now, right? Does that figure into this equation?
In terms of what the star salaries are, in terms for
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
to my knowledge, the focus really has been, as I think it should be, on the middle class of actors who are finding it increasingly difficult. I mean, there will always be stars who are able to command
Mhm.
many, many, many multiples of what the average, day player will get.
Mhm.
And I don't think, there's much concern that those people, or the fact that their salaries should come down to make more money for people below them. But I think it's really bringing up the salaries of those who are, the day players who surround the stars.
Mhm.
And I have many friends who are, whose lives are, described by that. People who will maybe get two or three TV guest spots a year, and in previous years would be able to, sustain a life, and no longer can on this kind of
Mhm.
money that they're making. So it's tough.
Mm.
People who used to get
Yeah.
national commercials and now they've become
Uh-huh.
buyouts, and all of these different ways that have just really cut into what their earnings are. So which just was funnier. It's just this is not probably super entertaining for anybody
We'll get
who
we'll get there, don't worry.
really want to get deep into the
And
weeds of entertainment and stuff. Yes, we can go line by line through the last Writers Guild contract if you guys want. I'm sure everyone.
well, it's interesting to me because we don't think of we spend all this time with this little box in our life, but
Yeah.
we don't know what goes into it. We know, I don't think
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Um,
And
Keeps things
generally
moving.
we're talking about, like, fairly inane things, so this
Yeah,
is good, this is good for our people to learn a little
fairly,
something.
fairly
Oh
inane.
my gosh, I hope they're still tuning in. I hope I haven't turned everybody off to sleep, but there it is.
Can
Yeah.
I ask a question of a more like focus more on your personal history?
Yeah.
Um, I was just curious, and you may have touched on this before, but like, at what point did you say, I want to write for TV? Like, was that something you knew and you went for it, or did you
I
fall into
really
it?
enjoyed. I mean, I wrote sketch comedy in high school and college, like our spring finale. I don't know if Shelby, if you ever went to any of the spring
I
finales, but
did, and I remember them being really funny, and back in the day, I thought that the spring finales
yeah,
were
we had
funnier
some,
than
yeah, that's
Saturday
right.
Night Live.
We had some good crews, and then I went and did
Mhm.
that at Columbia where I was, an undergrad, and then I knew that I wanted to do something in film or TV, but I really would have taken the first paying job probably in any department that came my way. Thing is that, as somebody who really had no connections whatsoever into the business, most probably, I guess, democratic way of sort of getting a foothold is to write a spec script. I mean, I think
Okay,
anybody who just writes material and submits it from the outside has almost an equal chance, because yeah, sometimes I suppose if you know somebody, you may get your script a little bit faster to an agent or whatnot, but they still have to be willing to represent it, and all those things. I think so that was really how I thought I would make my way in, and that's how I did. But if I had an uncle who was an agent, I'd probably be an agent at this point.
Yeah.
That agent, I would have
Have you ever written for a soap? Would you
been-
ever write for a soap? And
Well,
is there
it's
a
funny. I did
stigma
interview
attached to that?
between college and film school when I was kicking around New York. I did somehow have some connection. I forget if it was like All My Children. I mean, I'm not a soap fan, and I went in and I interviewed, and they just said like, no thanks. They were just not interested in like getting me started. So I was like, okay, well, I
Huh.
guess that's not
Wow.
going to happen. But otherwise, I probably would have been writing soaps. I don't know if it's soaps
Is
lost or
there
gained,
like a stigma? Is there a
but I would have.
stigma attached to soap writer? Like, do soap people mix with the rest of the people,
Yeah,
or
you know what? Truthfully, since that, and that was whatever that would have been, 35 years ago, I do not think I've actually ever been, I say in a room, I've ever really had a conversation with anybody who told me that they were a soap writer. We're just so,
okay.
just the way it is. First off, I think, and I don't know if this is the case, I don't know how many soaps are being done today as
Mhm.
opposed to those days. And that was, again, 35 years ago.
A
I would
lot
guess
less, a lot less.
Yeah,
many
I think there's
fewer,
only
many fewer
4.
being done.
Yeah.
And at that point, I think they were mostly in New York. Are they still mostly? I mean, I don't again. It's changed
Mostly
so much.
California,
Are they in California?
now.
Okay, then that may have
Yeah.
switched because I think that there was
Maybe
a time
all. Yeah.
when I mean, there was. Do you remember Kyle McDonald and his sister
Yeah.
Sarah?
Sarah,
Is that
yeah, their dad.
that
Their dad was on All
was?
My Children, I think.
And it had been for like at that point like 30 years, and I think
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
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 So I mean, I guess it was, and had, lived in Chappaqua. So I guess that
Mhm.
was, something you could do as a soap actor.
Mhm.
But no, I really don't know any soap actors out here. I've had some friends.
Oh,
Um,
Trevor.
and the thing is, the business really does tend to segregate into our little niches. So when I was a
Yeah.
half hour writer, I knew very few 1 hour drama writers.
Ah,
And since I wrote
y'all
a
sit
one
at
hour,
different lunch tables.
yeah, we
Yeah.
do. And for example, when you'd go in and pitch development at CBS, it was like comedy was on one side. You got off the elevators and you go to the left, and that was like all the comedy stuff happened on one side, and all the drama was on the right. And it was literally, physically separated, like comedy
Uh-huh.
development, comedy current, and drama current, and all of that. Um, it's funny because just in the last 15 years, there's been a lot more mixing because I think so many writers have successfully managed to traverse between the
Uh-huh.
two. And also because, so much TV doesn't fall neatly onto one side of the floor
Right.
or the other.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You,
Yeah.
you have
Mhm.
half hour dramas and 1 hour dramedies and comedy. And anyway, so that has
Mhm.
changed.
Have you watched that just made me think about when you said shows that are mixing things. Reservation Dogs.
I
Have you
haven't. I've heard good
Okay.
stuff. Is that a show you guys are watching?
I'm watching it. I
Yeah, I
recommended it to her.
started it. I haven't gotten far in it, but yeah, it was good. The first episode that I saw was good. Yeah.
I just think
It's
it
a little
mixes
different.
a lot of comedy and some really poignant stuff, and
Wow.
I like that. A lot of unexpected
Mhm.
stuff, but
I'll
Mhm.
have to take a
anyway,
look
just
at it
curious.
now. I haven't
Mhm.
watched it. I recently finished The Bear, which I thought was really
Oh
very good.
yeah,
If you guys
yeah.
were
Mhm.
watching that, and
I thought
Mhm.
I tend to
Jamie
watch.
Lee Curtis was incredible in that. She
Oh
was,
yeah,
yeah.
they were all. I thought all the cast was great. I thought it also became it's like they Ted Lassoed it second season. They sort of made it a lot kind of friendlier. I thought to go to and in an okay way. I mean, it didn't seem overly sentimental and clearly like that Christmas episode, right? Wasn't that was it Thanksgiving? That
I think it
episode
was
where the whole
Christmas.
thing
They're really over
was
the top.
Christmas, right? Where everything just like breaks down, very
Yeah,
intense. But just overall, I think there were a lot more people to root for in the
yeah,
second
Mhm.
yeah.
season. Good stuff. But I think I've been mostly watching limited series just because I really appreciate being able to, be 6 in and out, you know,
Mhm.
uh,
Mhm.
or a dozen over two
Mhm.
seasons. So I just finished
Let's see.
Winning Time, which just actually finished airing last night, which I
I
actually
haven't
thought
seen
was pretty
that.
good. So
Oh, we're still pretty deep in ER, so we like to
Oh, so
really
deep into ER. Yeah.
something that
Yeah.
goes 30 or 40 years, you know. So
classic, great show.
Romano's
And
arm just got cut off on the episode I watched
oh
yesterday.
yeah, that's
oh
a pretty
Yeah.
yeah,
intense art.
didn't you
That
guys
guy.
tell me that he died? I thought you said he died.
Well,
No,
we all thought
maybe
before. That's all I will say.
maybe
None of us here. None. Tomorrow is promised to no one, as they say. So they just tortured the hell out of that guy. I will say he cannot catch a break. That's what I will say.
I like him. I like
Oh,
him. I
he's
think he's a
wonderful. And
great character.
the irony to me, and I'm sorry, I can't recall if we talked about Paul McCrane last time. We probably did a little bit. He is the
A little bit.
nicest guy. He is like
Yeah.
he's just one like truly just one of the most wonderful people. And he said and again I think I said this last time, loved playing a villain. I've heard actors
Yeah.
say that. And he said he just thought it was just so much fun to play this guy.
That
So
was that was yeah, that was a great character. And there were I don't think I watched it consistently the first time it was on, and I didn't watch like the George Clooney years the first time when it originally aired. So I
mm,
didn't see all these little moments where Romano shows a bit of heart, you know. I think the
yeah.
first time I watched it, he just seemed like a dick, and then when it, I just thought he got what was coming to him, but now I have very mixed feelings about it.
He's a
So
really good doctor too, right? I
yeah,
mean, he's
yeah,
a
Yeah,
uh-huh,
superb
yeah.
surgeon. He helps a
yeah,
lot of people. It's really
yeah,
fun. I mean, I did watch it in that show. Yeah, you see the little glimpses. And
mhm,
we talked a little bit, I think, about Mary McDonnell and her arc between The Closer and Major Crimes and how
Yeah,
she
mhm,
yeah.
started out as a villain, but
mhm,
gradually, and then people sort of forget that they hated her and that she
yeah,
was
yeah,
and then you're like, wow, it's remarkable that if you do it like carefully enough, you can
yeah.
really sidestep people into sort of wherever. And I imagine that happens on soap operas a lot, probably
Oh
a little more
God.
Oh my
like
God.
this
Yeah.
villain is tomorrow's hero, right? Or
Well, and
last
we're
week's
notorious
hero.
when they bring
Yeah.
on new characters or they bring on a new actor to replace somebody who's left. We always hate them, and then like six
And
weeks
then
later, we're like talking
yeah.
about how awesome they are. So we're
Yeah.
we're total
Well,
idiots when it comes to that stuff.
we haven't come around on Drew yet. He's the only one I feel
Now
like we're
Drew
looking
is
for.
he's a tool. Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
But anyway, yeah. So we've gone from the sublime to the ridiculous.
hold on
Oh,
Oh, look,
one
I was
second.
wondering about your dog. Oh, there's your doggy. That's cute.
Yeah, that's Bex. So well behaved until Ray knocked.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Uh-huh.
this is,
Um,
this is like in our house.
very cute. I did want to. Well, Gia, did you want to talk about Star Trek for a little while?
um, no, no. I think I got all.
Oh, that's
Did
so
I
good
did
because
I
I am
say
so
that there
like I'm
was?
the worst. I mean, I was so in and out on that show. You if you've seen 5 episodes recently, you know more than I ever knew about Star Trek. I'm afraid.
Wow.
Um, no,
Um,
not quite. I'm exaggerating just slightly. I think when I wrote that episode 30 years ago, I'd
Was
actually
that your
watched.
spec script? The Star Trek episode? Was that
No.
no?
Actually, the specs that got me launched were both sitcoms. I
Okay.
never wrote. It was just that when I was at Paramount on this fellowship, that it was a wonderful group, and many of them have gone on to incredible things. Like Ron Moore was this just new producer, and he's done since then. Besides doing several of the Star Trek movies, I guess Highlander is his, and For All Mankind. And anyway, he's this just brilliant, brilliant writer producer who I think had only been discovered a couple of years before I was there in around 1990. But anyway, they were just these nice folks who said, why don't you come in and sit in our writer's room? And then I had a notion, and they let me, tackle it. And
Hmm.
I suppose maybe it was just as well that I didn't take to it a little better because I think I'd really at that point wanted to go onto the half hour side, and was
Uh-huh.
just lucky that's how it worked out.
Uh-huh.
Although I think I told you, boy, the residuals from Star Trek, everybody should write half an episode of Star Trek because it's like an annuity till the end of time. They never stop
Uh,
Well,
running.
yeah, and I mean they're
yeah.
playing it on what is the channel? I think it's H&I. Like, I mean,
Uh-huh.
I did watch a Star Trek the other night. I got home in the middle of the night and it was like, oh, awesome! They're playing the weird Scott Bakula one. Like that's the one series I haven't really watched because it's on in the middle of the night, and it's
Uh-huh.
not part of the like endorsed. It's some I don't know Canadian version or something, and it's kind of a prequel. Um,
Yeah.
it has a very weird opening song. I've talked to Shelby about it a little bit.
Is that like
I don't
does it
remember
have
any of that.
is it a Star Trek song with like lyrics? Does it like they're flying through
It's
outer
like
space?
it sounds like a Canadian pop song.
Uh,
It's like
uh,
it's like a weird, like more like a rock pop song. It's just
Huh.
a total departure from all the
oh,
others
now
have
I
like
really
a
want to watch just to
similar.
hear the song. I have to find
Yeah,
the song.
I
It's
can
funny.
sing it for you, but
At this point, my feeling about Star Trek is like feeling like about Marvel, which is there's so much that I've missed, and it's such a massive universe. I don't even know where I would sort of jump in.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just feel like between all the next generations that I never saw, and the Deep Space Nines, and the Scott Bakula version, and Picard, and
well,
everything
you
else,
have
it's,
time. You're young.
yeah,
You
yeah,
start now.
right, by the time I'm
But
sorry.
I think the next generation that you wrote your episode for, that I think that's maybe my favorite of all the series. I feel like that one sort of took elements of the first, kind of exploring moral and ethical questions and all that stuff, and kept that spirit going. Um, Deep Space Nine had like really intricate and really long intricate plot lines that kept going for whole seasons, which was cool. But I don't know. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
no, I'm all done. I don't need to talk about Star Trek.
Are you
Sorry.
sure? I could have sworn you had a question that you wanted to ask
Yeah,
Adam, and
I
you're
don't.
going to
I
kick
don't know.
yourself later.
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Are you sure? You can, if you think of something, feel
If I
free to
think of it,
jump
I'll tell
in.
you. Yeah.
But
Okay.
I feel like we need to conclude our discussion about bar shampoo before we let Adam
Oh,
go.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Okay.
And as an experiment, we're all going to be a little bit frank about our feelings with bar shampoo because Adam, I think you were a little afraid, to be honest, about how you feel about it.
oh,
Is
and in
that
terms of
fair?
expressing it, well, here's the thing:
Yeah.
it's like I wouldn't want to in any way hamper its potential as an environmentally positive product.
Right.
So I really feel
Sure.
bad saying anything that disparages it.
Sure.
I
Sure.
will say
Yeah.
that I've reached an age where I'm holding on to like few things. Like my hair is like one of like my my late middle aged curls are one of the few things that I can still like say I take pride in. Everything else is like dissolving. So the fact that I tried the bar shampoo maybe twice and felt like I had handfuls of straw when I was done
Uh-huh.
made me think that like I had to discontinue the
Uh-huh.
experiment. But again, it's
Uh-huh.
like I so again conceptually want it to work. So if you say like we found the perfect bar shampoo that Bexy, sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah. I wish we could say that, but I, I so hear what you're saying because I don't want to say anything negative because the impulse behind it is something I believe in. But um,
Yeah,
like you use it once or twice here or there, and you're like, oh yeah, that's fine. But you use it for a week straight, week and a half straight, and your hair is like, I mean, my hair is. Whenever I get my hair cut, they speak to me about using conditioner as if I don't know that it exists, and I'm like,
yeah.
I use like a bottle every time, and so
Oh,
the bar shampoo was a problem. Um,
right. See,
in
and I
that,
don't. I mean, I probably should use conditioner, but again, like I can actually like get by without conditioner.
well, I
But
think
I wouldn't want to have
you're
to add
short hair.
conditioner. Yeah,
Yeah,
see, if I just added conditioner to make up for what the bar shampoo was doing, then
Yeah.
again the net gain would not be there.
All right.
But
Right.
it's like I don't want to I don't want to complain about
yeah.
recycling. It's like I want to
Mhm.
believe that these things are so anyway. So that's
Yeah.
where it is.
Well, yeah, as preparation for this episode, I've been going back and forth with bar shampoo and regular shampoo because it was becoming a problem. And I thought I've got to give it one more shot. And I tried a new one, and I don't even know the name of it because it was wrapped in some sort of waxy paper that like
Hmm.
dissolved because of whatever was in the bar shampoo. But
Uh,
so this is what a week's worth of bar shampoo
okay.
looks like. And but it made my hair so squeaky clean, like it was loud, like squeakiness. And I felt like, I could have played a song on my hair, but
Yeah.
I still don't feel like I can endorse it wholly. I need to try the bar conditioner to see if that would
Well,
actually help. But
I thought
yeah.
you did try that. Am I the only one that tried that?
Maybe I tried the 2-in-1, which is a myth.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I think,
well, I
Yeah.
feel
but
like we're still in the early days of bar
Yeah.
shampoo,
maybe,
right?
maybe.
And it's like veggie hot dogs were not so good, and then they got better over time, right? I mean, I think
Okay,
it's one of
okay.
those things. And also, all the meat replacement products, right? They're moving along too. Maybe not perfect yet, but they're on their way. That's what our
Yeah, yeah,
brain. That's what we just need a real brain trust working on bar soap. We need like
yeah,
this
yeah.
working on bar soap.
Yeah. I'm just using
That's
online for soap, for regular
yeah.
soap.
That's what it becomes if it's not working
Which
on
that,
your hair. You
yeah,
can
This
just
is
there.
use
what
it as regular
this is
soap.
what I think what I'm going to end up. Yeah, because now I've got a $15 bar of
Yeah,
paper
that's
Right.
a
soap.
problem. Yeah.
Like,
Hmm.
but okay, all right. Good intentions. Good intentions,
Yeah.
done for fortunate
So
Yeah,
world.
yeah.
we
I think
tried.
I'll keep trying it here and there, and if I do find a good one, I'll let you know. But
Sure, sure. Well, what's been
yeah.
going on in the soap opera world? I'm so glad that
Oh,
Bob is
it's
continuing to.
it's been a tough week so far. A fan favorite, like across lots of soaps, Billy Miller died
Yeah, he did our show.
recently.
He was on Major Crimes.
Oh,
Did not
yeah, yeah,
just a little one episode one off, but yeah, I saw he was really well liked, and his
yeah,
Yeah.
son very.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
So
terrible.
I think everybody's kind of reeling from that, right, Gia?
Yeah, and I've seen various things that who knows what to believe about what may have
Yeah,
happened.
right. Yeah, they haven't really been super clear about
Yeah, I
what
don't
the
know if you
cause
can
of death
trust like
was.
what is that TMZ or whatever, I don't
Yeah.
know if that's a trustworthy source,
Yeah.
but yeah, then that and then the cancer diagnosis of another favorite character. Um
Right. On General
so
Hospital.
he'll be leaving the show because of that.
He
So
might
that's
he
been
might
sad.
he might succeed in his treatment. We're too
Yeah.
old to donate.
Yeah,
Apparently you
she
got to be
tipped
under
him.
40. So
Mm,
can't
Yeah.
nobody wants
I don't
anything
I don't
that's
think there's any I
growing
think we're
inside of
past.
us.
Yeah.
yeah.
We can quit signing our licenses, with any donor.
I know. We
Everything's
could be
shot.
cadavers, I guess, right? We could just
Well,
be cadavers.
okay. So my friend David Landsberg, rest his soul, wonderful, wonderful guy. He was one of the guys who I worked for on another name that we can't say anymore. Cosby. On Cosby. He was
Uh-huh.
anyway. But David Landsberg was an actor for many, many years. He was Mr. Whipple's assistant on the commercials. Remember Mr. Whipple? Don't squeeze
Oh,
the
yeah.
Charmin.
Oh, yeah,
So
Yeah.
he
yeah.
was
Uh-huh.
Mr. Whipple's assistant, and then he was on CPO Sharkey. Anyway, had a long life as first an actor and then as a writer, but much rejection along the way. So finally, oh gosh, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, he calls up UCLA and says that he wants to donate his body to science, to their medical school. And they ask him various questions, and if you had this, and if you had that, and surgery, this and that, and what. And then finally said, well, to be honest with you, we're not interested. So it's like the ultimate final rejection for an actor is they
Yeah.
don't even, you can't get arrested while you're alive, and they won't take your body while you're dead. And it
Well,
just,
Oh.
yeah, I wonder what they're looking for. Are they looking for people that
yeah,
have
I,
had lots of crap, diseases and
I don't
stuff, so
know.
they can.
He'd had like heart bypass, that sort of thing. I don't know what
Mhm.
whatever it was. He didn't match. He couldn't even be a dead
A
dissectable
dead.
body by then.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
that's too bad.
Yeah.
Poor fella.
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
wonderful,
That's sad.
Wonderful
We had a
guy.
Yeah.
cat named Sherman.
Oh, yeah.
Just a little aside.
Yeah. I will not ask how the cat got that name. It's just
I
too.
don't know. That ad was just very popular during that era.
Huh.
I don't know
Okay.
what we've,
It's
Well,
kind of a
you know,
cute name for a
you like
kitty.
to squeeze the
yeah.
cat. I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
We don't squeeze her. Maybe that was the whole. I don't know.
Maybe
Yeah.
some kitties
I was
don't
a
like
kid.
that.
You know.
Sure. Okay.
Fair
All
All
right.
right. Hmm.
So,
Well, maybe we should
well,
let Adam go. Adam, do you
Yeah.
have anything you want to leave us
no,
with? Any
I
more
will
strike comments?
just send good thoughts. I'll be on the line
Okay.
tomorrow at 9 a.m. again. And,
Okay.
we'll see. I should make a prediction. I
Okay.
mean, well, but it could, well, all I can say is it could be over in 2 to 3 weeks and it could be over in 2 to 3 months. So,
Nice.
like, how's that
Okay.
for a
So you're
prediction?
really
I mean,
going out on a limb
Okay.
there.
Yeah,
yeah,
really
I know,
sticking your neck
exactly. I
out there, kid.
really put myself on a limb there, right? I
Yeah.
mean, I could really imagine they sit down and really make progress, and actually
Mhm.
within a week we have a deal. Or
Uh-huh.
what happened last time was they started having really good negotiations, and then the other side, the studio said, well, this is our final offer, and we're going to the press with it. And that
Mm,
just, they basically went around the negotiating committee. They were hoping to divide the
mm,
writers, and they went public with what their offer had been. And it was really, I mean, talk about throwing a wrench into the works.
uh-huh.
It made everybody furious and totally unified us. And it had the exact
Uh-huh.
opposite effect
Hmm.
they were hoping. So
Mm.
I just don't know how desperate they are. I mean, if they
Mhm.
really sit down to work, I really feel like our people really want to go back to work. I mean, they
Yeah.
should. 5 months.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
We would love
we wish
that
you well.
too.
We hope
Yes.
that we hope it's
Yeah.
the first, the short, the 2 or 3 weeks would be the.
Yes, we would
Okay.
like that very
We're
much.
Well,
we're
I'll be
And
back
crossing
with a
all our
strike
fingers.
update when you guys want to have me back on. So you let me know.
Okay.
All right.
seriously?
So you're a glutton for punishment.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
we haven't been
as I
terribly
climb off
annoying.
the rack here and say I'll do it again,
Oh.
it's so difficult, but somehow I manage.
I know you're a real good sport. And also you can reach out to us if you want to get the word out to 2 or 300
That's so
people,
thank you.
including
People.
5 people in Germany and
Um,
and a couple in Italy or Switzerland. Yeah. We're worldwide, Adam. So
well, I just hope that there just aren't comments saying this was the dullest episode ever. This guy just completely ignored my talk.
we've only had one person give us 1 star. And that was
And to be
because
fair, their criticisms were spot on.
it was. Yeah. So we'll take it.
We're like, yep, they're right. Yep, that's
Yeah.
true. Everything you said was true.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
guys.
Oh,
We'll have a good rest of your week there, and a happy Jewish New
Yeah.
Year. I know you
Yes.
celebrate. All right.
Sure.
yeah,
Sure.
Yep.
Definitely.
Okay.
This is
Okay,
how I
guys.
celebrate everything.
Yeah.
Sitting in bed with the
All right.
dogs.
Thanks for being brave again.
See you soon.
Yes. We appreciate
Okay.
that. And stay he's gone.
Yep, he's gone. All right. Are we going to keep
Okay, Gia.
looking at our beautiful hair, or are we getting rid
Yeah,
of our
we
picture?
could. I guess
Okay.
we could. So okay, now we could talk about what's going on in hospital a little bit if you would like to.
Yeah, we could do a brief. I
Sure.
can't get rid of my picture. Oh well.
Oh, do you want camera off? Do you
Yeah.
have that option?
I was
Okay.
gonna, but it said something about I can't change settings during recording, so it's all right.
Oh, okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
I was just trying to save you the torture of having to look at me, but
Oh,
I don't mind
I
looking
can
at
handle it,
you.
Gia. I've seen
Okay.
you before. It's okay. It's okay.
I know. But anyway, he's a nice fella.
Yeah.
He's a real true, like, grown up and professional. I like that in a person.
I know it's
Um,
interesting to have a grown up and professional talk to us as if,
I know.
we're
Agree
not
to talk
wasting
to.
his time. Yeah. And I don't know.
I think
I suppose. Sorry, go ahead, Gia.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think there was only one word that I didn't know that he used, and I can't remember what it was, but ancillary. I think it was ancillary. And I got
Yeah,
it
yeah,
from,
yeah.
I got the meaning from
The
context. And then
context.
I kind
Yeah.
of, And then my brain immediately went to ER, and I thought, aren't there like ancillary veins or something like that? You know,
I know. I wanted to drag him
tie it
into an
off.
ER conversation,
Yeah,
throw around some of the jargon we've learned.
yeah. That's I just like I'm gonna write down a conversation sometime and try to memorize it and hit you
Yeah,
with it one
yeah.
day. You know,
Oh,
like just
okay. I look forward
you
to
know,
that. Yeah.
like you know when they say, are you gonna run this? Go ahead and run this. Like I'm gonna run it,
Yep.
is
Yeah.
what I'm gonna do.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Give me the
you'll be
bullets. Yeah.
amazed. Yeah.
Yeah. And if
Anyway, go
anybody
ahead.
didn't hear our first conversation with Adam and doesn't know who he is or why we had him on, you can Google Adam Belanoff and look at his credits as a TV writer.
Yeah,
He's
he's
got
got
a
a
pretty
great
solid
resume.
resume, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's got
Anyway,
good
yeah,
insights into this.
we can we can talk about a little tiny bit about hospital. I think maybe just a moment on today's ending, since we'll find out probably
Who
tomorrow.
is bothering
Right.
Anna?
And
And it's
I was just
somebody that
wondering if you
Nina
wanna,
recognizes, right?
yeah, if you want to make some predictions, because I want to make
Oh,
some prediction.
you do?
Yeah, you don't seem too psyched about it. But,
I'm usually psyched about all kinds of things. Um,
yeah.
the first person I think who came to mind, and I wasn't excited about it, was her sister Alex, thinking maybe somehow she wasn't dead, but I
Right,
don't know.
right. I thought about
What
that.
did you think?
My first thought was, what is her name? Her granddaughter, Emma. Emma?
Uh
Is that her
oh,
granddaughter?
her
Robin's
her
daughter?
actual Robin's daughter. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's Emma, right? Yeah.
Emma.
Uh-huh.
Because I thought she had made such a big deal about when she was outed as a double
Yeah.
agent and all that stuff about
Right, right.
disappointing family members and being
Yeah.
embarrassed.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
But then I thought the real life thought crept in, like they're probably not going to bring any new actors in during this strike.
Uh-huh.
So I thought,
I see,
they
yeah.
probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
And so then I
Uh-huh.
thought, could it weirdly be Charlotte somehow? Like, who is it that
Yeah.
both Nina and Valentine would react that way
Right.
to? And
Right,
Valentine on the
right.
screen said, we can't let anybody see this. So I'm like, who is it that he would
Hmm.
react that way to? To whom he would
Mhm.
react that way to? Um,
Oh no. Oh no.
oh no. Oh no, she's in a loop. She's in a grammar loop.
I know.
I was thinking about
Uh,
today. This is a weird, and I don't know. You're smarter than me, and you were an English major too, so
no,
maybe you
no,
know.
no.
No, you
What?
weren't an English major.
I'm not any smarter than you. I think we've
Oh, yes, you are.
established that
Um,
neither of us are going to win any sort of contests having to do
well,
with.
maybe
Oh, I
now,
wanted to
maybe
ask.
never.
I was
Oh,
thinking about.
oh,
Sorry to interrupt, but before I lose this thought, I meant to ask Adam if he could supervise an intelligence test before we started taking Prevagen
oh, the
or
Prevagen. Yeah.
Benefol.
Do we want to expose ourselves to him that way?
I think we
Intelligence.
have.
I didn't speak much today. I was purposely
No,
like
no, you kept it
just
together pretty nicely, Gia. I'm sorry. Go
well,
ahead. What were you saying?
the only way I keep it together is to not speak. That's the
I know.
only.
That's my MO
Uh,
usually. Yeah. But anyway, sorry.
um,
What were you going to
I was just
say?
thinking about how the prefix in is a weird prefix because you can say that somebody is something that's an invaluable contribution,
Uh-huh.
which
Uh-huh.
means it's very valuable, like it
Right,
increases,
right.
right?
Uh-huh.
But then if
Yeah.
you use it in another way, so like invalid, that means
Uh-huh.
not valid. And
Right,
like,
right.
what's up with that? And how do we expect anybody to learn English,
Yeah, I don't.
when you do shit
Yeah.
like that,
Uh-huh.
right?
Sure. But
Invalid means not valid, but
yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
incompetent. I could go on, but I won't.
I
But anyway,
okay.
um, so my prediction is somebody
Who they
like,
care about?
yeah,
Okay.
or yeah. I also thought, oh, what if they're seeing Anna do it herself and they think that it's
Uh-huh.
Anna and she's lost her shit, but it's actually the
Uh-huh.
twin sister who's not really
Uh-huh.
dead.
Right.
Which would be
Right.
tiresome to bring that back again, wouldn't it?
It would yeah, God,
Uh,
yeah. Uh-huh. So I guess I'm looking forward to seeing who that's going to be, I guess.
yeah,
Right? Are
you're
you?
jumping up and down. You're so excited about it. Like,
Yeah, I know. I should be, I guess, but I
well,
don't
that was
know.
just our big ending. That was all. I just thought we
It
should say
was.
something
It
about it
was.
before it.
It was like a
Yeah,
Friday ending, which maybe it was originally
yeah,
intended to be.
yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Um,
so we've got that.
I
Yeah.
thought it was. Yeah. I thought it was mildly funny when she was talking about the shirt that was ruined, and she said she didn't even like
Yeah.
it.
I didn't even like it. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm,
Yeah, I
that's really
guess I still
good.
feel like it's such a shame that we're seeing a lot of Anna, but it's not like, you know,
Right.
worthy of her, I guess.
It's such a
Yeah.
muddled plot. This whole
Yeah.
pretend,
Right.
and just I don't know. That
Right.
yeah, I'm not as invested as they think I probably am. Um,
Right. Mhm.
no.
Yeah. And then
And
meanwhile,
also the
mhm.
Blair, the
Oh yeah, Blair.
interloper
Yeah, yeah.
from yeah.
Uh-huh.
What was that? Did that mean anything to you, or were you a Blair fan from whatever
Uh
world they're from?
I think I was a bit of a Blair fan. I was never a regular watcher of her soap, but she and the guy who plays Austin, were a couple on that
Oh, see, I didn't
show.
know that. I didn't. Okay.
Yeah. And they were both really good on that show. And originally when they started bringing people over from other shows back when there were still a lot of other shows, it used to
Yeah.
bum me out cuz I thought, "Oh, they're going to take time away from, the original hospital
Yeah.
actors, and there's not a lot of time to go around." But now that there's so few soaps, I think it's kind of nice. I think it's kind of cool to bring in these people from the other shows,
Right.
Why not
Yeah. Yeah.
pull
But
in
I always
people
feel
who
like
watch
if
those
I don't,
shows?
yeah, if I don't know anything about that character, I'm aware that it's some fan favorite from another show, but I'm not.
Yeah.
There's no history there for me, so it didn't do much for me. But
Yeah, I don't know if you really need to know much about her
no,
character or
okay.
her history on that. Yeah, I don't think that matters too
I
much.
was
Although
annoyed
it's
by her
interesting.
hair.
Yeah, why?
Well, because the way I thought it looked really good from the side, but from the front, it
Yeah.
just hung across half her face.
Okay.
And I know
Okay.
this is hypocritical of me because you can see what I look like, and
Hey, hey.
I
Yeah,
shouldn't.
it's okay, Gia.
Hey,
It's
hi.
okay.
No, I have
Whoa,
no
whoa,
room to
whoa.
comment on anybody's hairstyle, but I just thought, yeah, I don't know, that would be annoying to me all day. I'd have to barrette that back
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And I guess the thing that's a little different with her is that she's playing the same character, whereas with
Right, the
Austin,
others have
he's
come on
not.
as
So,
different people. Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
So that
was
does
Martin
complicate it a
also
little.
from that soap or
Yeah,
not?
yeah. Yes, he was. He was from All My
Okay,
Children, right? Um, but
I don't know.
I don't think that wasn't his character's name. I
No,
don't think.
okay,
No.
I have no
I'm
idea.
probably annoying people who watched All My Children also, but
You're
I just
annoying more than just this people. You're annoying a broad
fair enough. Fair
swath of
enough.
people.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it. I get it. That's fair. Yeah. But if I were
But
going to create a
I think pleasing people
what?
is overrated. I've decided that pleasing people is probably overrated.
Yeah, probably, and also it's probably just an accident when it happens. you know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Um
Go ahead with
but
your thought. Sorry.
oh, it's not a good one, but I was going to say if I were to create a TV network and get all the programs lined up that were going to be on my network, I would have every show like either set in the same town or, nearby so the characters could move back and forth between the shows however they,
Well, I
wanted
feel
to.
like that happens a lot. Like my dad watches this like one night of TV where he's watching the whole damn. It's
Oh,
like what is it?
Chicago.
Yeah.
Chicago.
like, and they're
Yeah,
all just
yeah.
cruising in and out of each other's shows all night long. And
A little
he's
bit.
trying to explain
Yeah,
it to me.
yeah.
I'm like, this is a big investment. I got to sit here all night and watch all three of these to know
Yeah.
what's going on.
I can only watch Chicago Med. I can't watch the PD and the Fire ones. They seem like
Well, he
they
just, he's probably
yeah.
drifting in and out or asleep. He just wakes up and it's familiar people on there. It's comforting.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. But yeah, it makes sense to me that they would do that,
Yeah, it's funny. My dad, in his latter years, growing up, he didn't watch TV. I mean, he would sit down and watch the news later at night and watch Johnny Carson or whatever. But, you know,
Mhm.
he just wasn't watching TV. And now he's had all these years of being old and retired. And now he's really old.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
he knows all these shows. And it's like weird. It's
Mhm.
just weird to be talking to
Yeah.
him about TV and have him explaining plots to me and stuff. And,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I mean, he
Yeah,
used to
that's
watch MASH. He would,
mhm.
but he's been a dedicated Blue Bloods guy for a long
Right,
time,
sure, sure. Mhm.
and now the Chicago Fire stuff, and yeah, it's
Mhm.
weird.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It is a little
sorry.
weird,
Go
but
ahead. Do you want to talk
no,
about
that's
General Hospital?
do we have anything else that we should be
No, it's probably some
touching on?
stuff, but nothing big. We had like
Yeah.
Brooklyn.
Mhm.
We had a lot of what's his
Gregory
name?
and
Gregory
yeah,
today. He had a
yeah.
sweet little scene
Uh-huh.
with Esme, which was actually kind of
Right.
appealing.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
Lavender ice
Mhm.
cream. That was a nice detail. Never had
Yeah.
it. Made me think maybe I should go looking for it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah. Not I guess I
Mhm.
can't think of anything else that was really compelling to me.
Yeah, nothing
But
too huge, I guess. Yeah.
yeah, there was a lot of
Anyway.
the Blair Tracy stuff was
Yeah, which was pretty
took up a
tiresome.
lot of time. Yeah,
We had
that
a,
is
a
tiresome, I'm
Lucy Nina
afraid.
scene,
Mhm.
which was also kind of tiresome.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it was, Gia. So
Anyway, so
we'll
I
see.
don't really have anything pressing to say, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Gia.
Okay.
Well, I hope people found our conversation about the strike informative. Um,
Yeah, I was
and
thinking I was kind of glad that all the controversy about Drew Moore and Bill Maher and stuff kind of came up and brought it all back to
mhm.
the forefront of the news cycle.
Yeah, because it really
Because I felt
hadn't
like
been covered at all,
yeah,
right?
and this has been these hardships, like Adam was
Yeah.
pointing out, have been going on all this time for people,
Right.
and
Yeah.
it's great that
Mhm.
people are trying to raise a little money and giving her free lunch here and there, but that doesn't
Mhm.
necessarily pay the mortgage.
No, it really
Um,
doesn't. It really doesn't at all.
so
Yeah.
so um I hope that they do resolve it soon in their favor,
Yeah.
and yeah,
And
I
I
mean,
kind of go
I
ahead.
was just wondering, like, are we gonna be really, really sad when the fall seasons of shows come up
Yeah.
and everything measures
Mhm.
up short because nobody's
Mhm.
sorted these problems out?
Right.
Um,
Right. Yeah.
then it will
I know.
impact us at the consumer end.
Yeah, I know. What's it
Uh,
gonna take? Or are the streaming services gonna be able to just, like Adam said, pull in stuff from all
right.
over the world,
Pull in.
Is
Yeah.
that gonna
Right.
do it for us? But that's
Yeah.
kind of why I feel like people like Drew Barrymore and Bill Maher should realize that some sort of solidarity is maybe like their
Right.
best
Yeah.
hope.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh well.
Maybe, like you said, maybe they were sort of trying to scare her into going on. No, but
Yeah, or maybe she just didn't fully understand all the issues or
maybe
something. I don't
not.
know. I
I
can't
don't
imagine.
know.
I kind
Yeah,
of felt like Adam was saying I had a similar feeling about her being sort of magical, what do you say, pixie-ish, but
yeah, yeah.
sort of um I don't know, a little element of something going on with her personality that made me think she would
Hmm.
never want to hurt anybody,
Yeah.
you
Right.
know.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
Uh
and
huh.
so it seemed a little shocking that he'd be one of the ones to go back on. Like, what?
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh well.
Anyway, oh
Live
well.
and learn,
Okay.
I guess. Okay,
Yeah.
G.
So, okay, well, it was fun chatting and hearing your friend. Thanks for having such an accomplished high school friend, and that's so cool.
It's so nice of him to come on
Yeah.
here with us.
Yeah.
I think,
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
there's
Yep.
nothing in it for him, really,
No,
absolutely
there really
nothing.
isn't. No. I mean, you didn't even send him a free bar shampoo, I don't think. He had to go out and buy
No,
his
I
own bar.
didn't. That's true. That's true. You're right, Gia.
Yeah.
I could have done at
Yeah.
least
So he
that. Yeah,
invested in that experiment himself,
he did. He did.
which
Bless
is
his heart.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. But anyway,
All
thank
right,
you
Gia.
anybody for listening to us, and we'll see
Yes,
you all
always.
next time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Have a good night, Gia.
Okay. You too. See you,
All right.
Keish.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.